Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So there's a reason we have a smile on our face today.
Yes.
10 months in the making, we have Mr. Rob Coates in the building.
Finally.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
This has been a long time coming. The avid followers of the channel will know that Rob has become one of the members of the community, one of the kind of pillars of the community.
That's right.
And amongst the rest of the characters, and everyone is characters.
Yeah, nothing but intense gratitude to everybody that voted for me, and to you guys for creating like such a great thing with the live chats and the Discord, and like I've made friends.
It's great.
And like especially during like lockdown was really tough in Toronto, and especially during lockdown with not much else to do and no golf to play, like having some of those relationships and those like touch points have been
great, isn't it?
I'm glad to hear
it's been great.
Yeah, it's great to hear.
I know, and you know that is really what we had hoped that when we started out with the channel, that it would bring some information, but it would also have a sense of community and things like that. So to hear that that's a testimonial to that is great for us to hear. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, so let's start with your swag that you're wearing, because you're looking dapper. You walked in.
From
like
what I could tell, blue
golfer.
was the preferred color. So
It is, always. Definitely, you're on my good side already.
Yep. FootJoy and Titleist were fantastic.
Yeah, and you said that when you first came in. You said first thing I want to say is that big thanks to Titleist, FootJoy. That package was unbelievable. You know, the way how quickly they got that to you was just impeccable.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's really good.
He's already looking the part, and now we got to fit him for the clubs that will complete the package.
Well, this is going to be fun because everyone has their own story. Everyone is is unique, and when you walked in, I think you're about 6 inches tall, and everyone was expecting you to be. And
I knew he was going to be tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew from your background, your PT background, and that sort of thing. I knew there'd be some size, but I didn't know it'd be vertical as well.
It's a big boy,
big lad, which is good. And
giving Paddy a run for his money, right?
Aye, I know. It's true. Definitely. But that kind of leads into you're going to have had some equipment issues because of that.
Yeah. I was when I was I want to say like late teens, early 20s. I was in a golf shop. Dynamic Golf was like a really popular sort of like pre-Golf Town place. Trying to find a used set, and one of the guys that worked there said, "Hey, come here for a second," and he put this like length ruler down and said, "Yeah, you need an inch extension on all your clubs, so none of these are going to work for you."
So that was your introduction to custom?
Yeah, I read an article in Golf Magazine or something like that about Golfsmith.
Yeah.
Ordered the catalog back before the internet even existed, if I recall correctly. And I had an old set of McGregor tourneys from my grandfather. I put in extensions in all the irons and started with them, and then slowly but surely just started messing around with components.
Love that. So you've been curious about this stuff for a long time. So this is even way pre TXG. Your mind was in the right place, that you needed equipment that was not off the rack.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, I stumbled onto TXG because guys on Golf WRX were raving about the channel.
Right.
And even there's a local forum like Toronto Golf Nuts, I'm sure you guys are aware of, raving about the channel. And so when I found this, it was like, I'd come home. Like someone's actually taking care of all this stuff. And even like the Lieboard Lies video and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was a big change of paradigms for me, but.
Love it. Well, we're going to start the first club of we're going to fit you for. We're going to do driver and fairway wood today. We're going to start with your driver. We've got an old Cobra F8 Plus, Matty boy.
Pretty good model that was.
Was a pretty decent model. Yep, it was. It would be the player's model, the lower spin model. You've got the heavyweight forward, the 16 gram at the front, trying to kind of you keep that spin down a little bit. I'm sure that's some of the stuff that you battle.
Yeah, when I went, I bought it at Golf Town on sale kind of thing. Was really looking for a bargain, and when I bought it, it had like the stock stiff shaft on it. The guy watched me hit it in the simulator, spun it right down to 8 degrees, and that's how I played it for the first while. But it was pretty clear that it was getting, like, as I was sort of picking speed back up again, it was too soft, and so I sort of have upgraded the shafts. This is probably the second shaft upgrade I've done.
Right. Yeah. So you've got a hazardous smoke yellow in there. So it's longer, 45 3/4 to the end of the grip is exactly how long it is. What is interesting is you went with that one because it's a higher balance point in the shaft, which it obviously is, but it's heavy in swing weight.
A lot of equipment changes I've made, like at the beginning of the season, almost was research. I realized just some of the stuff I had was not wrong necessarily, but going to be like a big departure from what might happen here.
Yeah.
And I tend to struggle sometimes with big shifts and changes.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just wanted to expand my point of reference a bit. I didn't think it was going to be the right fit, but that's what I'm here for.
Cool. Well, swing weight is D9.6. That's up there.
Yeah.
And we would be probably in the mindset you and I are saying that you would be better with heavier than lighter, but there's extreme in that would be extreme.
Yeah.
9.6 would be extreme. I would say, 4 to 5, D4 to D5 would be a kind of probably a sweet spot range that we would like to have you in. Even if it was longer, we could think of different ways to kind of balance that swing weight out a little bit. So I think we're going to see some stuff, Matty boy, in the first few shots with Rob that allows us the opportunity to improve it quite significantly. It's hit hard. We always use the two terms, Rob, input and output. There's a lot of input.
Right.
So it's kind of the output now that we're concerned about. So there's the first page that would catch our attention. Good club head speed, 160 ball, fairly efficient with it, but the 2.7 yards per mile an hour club head speed would tell us that we are well shy of where we're capable of being here. So if you were to stand up on a dead straight hole, Rob, what would your intention be on that? Would you intend to hit a fade, straight one, draw?
Well, with the softer shafts, a lot of the ball flight was right to left. So I would tend to aim sort of down the left side with the hope that I'd be opening myself up to a draw into the fairway kind of thing. Anyway, that's been the struggle.
Yeah, that's been the miss. Good. Can I start on this page because it gives us the idea of the dispersion. We're averaging about, and this is unfair. I will say this is unfair because these are the first drives you've hit. You're not warmed up yet. You're not, you've not had your sort of range time. So, but we're looking at around 40-ish yards to the right is where the miss is looking like, and some are a little worse. Speed is good, spin is high, face is hanging open, and we've got a little bit of a low strike. That's kind of the story from the first few. The club isn't helping.
No.
That's for sure. It's not contributing to your success. If anything, it's doing the opposite. So the weight for somebody who we were trying to get to eliminate left, we'd be giving them a club like this, longer, heavier, eliminate the left side. We kind of want to go back towards neutral with you, face to path stuff, strike stuff, get it back into a neutral spot and then really work off of that. So this isn't actually even my starting point for you. My starting point is going to be somewhere in one of those drawers because this is quite an extreme driver right now. So we'll build a few of those and then see how we do.
Great.
Okay. Okay, keep hitting away, Rob. I'm going to go and grab a few more things.
Seems to be on the start line.
Mm-hmm. we'll just kind of pause in here for a second. So this is the baseline we probably would have not preferred to start on, but this is a better baseline to start on. So your driver is going obviously right, and it's causing the spin to stay up because the face is open. Obviously strike is low in the head with both, but from this dispersion we have a much better starting point, right? And we've got that spin down a little over 1,000. Ball speed is right about where it was, and obviously he's going a little bit further. So this is a really good starting point now to start to work in some of these changes, because we've addressed the face angle issue. That was just weight, as we kind of thought it would be. Now it's going to be trying to build the consistency, trying to up the strike point. What's going to do that? What is it about the club and the timing of it that's going to move that strike up the head? Is it tee height? Simple things. Is it going to be something in your ball position that we might make a little change to your ball position? You've got a very, very wide base to work off of. What happens with players who have a wide base is they tend to actually kind of move into the trail side a little bit more. So sometimes not getting back to that lead side can cause the thin strike. So we'll look into all of those things over the next few shots. But
Great sound there.
yeah, it sounded really sweet, didn't it?
Very well struck. Ooh.
What a boy.
A little better.
Hello.
It's all right. You caught it in the neck a little bit, but this is where we should start to see this driver that we build for you is still performs really good on the misses.
That was a great miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt like it should have gone a lot more left than it did.
Yeah.
Sounded nice.
Getting some much better sounds out the driver now.
Absolutely, there are.
It's just higher strikes. Now we're starting to kind of add the proper yardages that we would expect to see.
For a D-type, it still sits like reasonably open.
It does. It does. It's not the D type is not as much about the closed face anymore. It's more about the internal weighting and how it's going to perform from a strike perspective. So move that weight into the heel. A centered strike acts like a toe strike because the CG. But that's really, really nice. They are starting to manage things like the dynamic loft. Face to path is in really, really good shape now. This is coming together. 167 ball speed is pretty darn good as well.
Just completely different
Different
sounds
driver,
coming
isn't
off.
it?
Yeah, completely. That's gorgeous flight.
Yeah.
Oh, might be the best of the day.
Get out there.
Keep rolling.
Get out there.
There you are.
Yeah,
Hello.
boy. The greens were cut this morning.
That's a
Rolling
great
nicely.
I always wondered because of how much I had to like bend and twist to try and create like a ball flight that was right to left initially, and how much I really had to change my setup. That if I might have just been better swinging away with a D-type driver.
You said something earlier on when you were describing your snake eyes irons that you were making a lot of compensations because of how they felt. That's exactly what we're trying not to do anymore,
right.
and we're trying to just let you be the golfer that you are, and we'll build around you. So you are so neutral, it's unbelievable. I mean, the zeros that are popping up here on path and angle of attack are just telling me like you're as neutral gets. Your tendency can be at times to have the face a little bit open, strike a little bit low side. So we're managing that better now. I mean, you've hit one. Go to the last. You've hit that last one just dead in the middle of the club, which I just love to see that, and get it to fly 280 is a dream. We've gotten the average already is, throw the old driver back up there, but 254, 270. This was the baseline I believed was a true baseline.
Yep.
And then obviously what we're working towards now. Most of the gains are launch and ball speed. The spin is yet to come down. So the next drive, I think we can get that spin sub 3,000, then really start to capitalise on the club head speed you have, because it's now working really well.
Love it.
Your speed is going up because you're starting to be comfortable with what you're playing. That was inevitable. That was going to happen.
Yeah.
So 116 is really good.
swing there.
Nice, Rob. I'm completely. I mean, if we're going to hit that little fade out there that starts on line and just drifts back,
It's a great shot.
it really is. There's no hint of a draw really out of these unless it's a toe strike.
It's a little more like it, I guess.
That's the one.
That's the one where. That's the one we know is going to come.
There you go.
Okay, good little driver fit. We worked through some different options.
Tons
Length,
of
weight,
different.
yeah,
Yep.
different shafts. We dug into my office and we dug a few out that aren't even on the wall. That Synergy Blue that we've ended up with, that's not even one that we have yet. But
Yeah, I like it.
yeah, it's good. I think for somebody who wants to play something a little longer, the balance point being a touch higher, it's a very smooth shaft, feels easy to load. And the good thing with that SimMax D is I've actually turned the loft down, but Rob, you testified to this. It does not look open, does it?
No, I think that's one of the things I said when you gave it to me. Is that
Yeah.
it sets up very square.
Yeah, and when I
Or
say
even-
open, I mean that open because I've turned the loft down.
Right.
Normally that would make drivers sit, very open. But when I opened that
Yeah.
2 notches this time,
Oh, really?
yeah, I brought that down, so it's now playing 7.5.
But internally, because there's draw weighting, that's
Yeah.
what's helping the shape of the ball flight still get out there.
Just keeping it really neutral. And then when we kind of got that last walk-off home run there with the centered strike, the face-to-path matched up really nicely. That's my ideal ball flight for Rob. I don't want that launch any higher than that.
No, that's perfect.
Really good. Ball speed is high enough. We know we're managing spin rate always, so that's one of the lower spin rates today, but off of a perfect strike.
Yep, and there's your 300-yard drive.
There's our 300-yard drive. And when we look at kind of the comparison of what we kind of walked in with, the speed was okay and things like that, but crushed the spin, obviously the carry distance jumps up to 273, and we're capable of getting out over 3 on the really good ones.
For sure. Yep, picked it up in every category.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is just how easy it is to sort of narrow the dispersion with this.
Definitely. The dynamic loft was way better as a result of the face angle. Getting that face angle much more square. We did talk a little delivery stuff, didn't we? We talked a little bit about kind of some alignment stuff, pulling that right foot back a little bit, and that definitely helped the path and angle of attack. The club would exit much more out to the right and up, whereas before it was a little bit down and left. So, that's always going to kind of help.
Some more confident stuff, a little bit more club head speed, probably
Yeah.
brought the strike a bit higher. So, like a lot of fits, like a lot of things combined together, and
Definitely.
you ended up with a much better result.
And only more to come. Only more to come. I mean, however you feel with it today when you're going in and out of other drivers and things like that, it's hard to retain good rhythm when you're doing that because everyone's trying to be a little different. I think once you get to the range with this, when you settle into it, you get all your setup sort of little, nuances that you have personally, Rob. More to come.
Driver's always typically been a bit of a struggle, and it takes a bit of time for me to ease into something. And I mean, this is about as comfortable as I felt with something like right off the hop.
Love it.
Great.
Cheeky little bit of lead tape in the heel, which we're going to hot melt internally. So maybe show us that one, Rob. Just flip that around there, and you'll see that little strip that we had to use because we did go with a mid-sized grip, and that is a higher balance point shaft. So that's something I think we will hot melt that into it for Rob.
That would be great for the build.
The build, yeah.
Very custom.
Very
Love it.
custom.
Love it.
I think you're seeing a true reflection of how the fit unfolds here at TXG.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Good. 15 handicap for not much longer.
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay, stay tuned for the rest of the fit, guys. We'll see you soon.